Mizoram's ruling Mizo National Front Party and Mar People's Convention have forged an electoral alliance for the upcoming village council and local council polls, an HPC leader informed on Sunday 9th August. HPC President Thang Liang Sang said the alliance was forged last week at a closed-door meeting between the leader of the two parties in Aizawl. He states that the agreement to fight the upcoming local body polls jointly was made as the MNF-HPC combined had successfully contested the Shinglung Hills Council polls in November last year. The two parties will jointly fight the village council polls in 31 villages in HSC area, he said. Election to 558 village council in 9 district states barring 3 autonomous district council areas and 83 local council in Aizawl municipal area will be held on 27th of August in Mizoram. Though the electoral alliance was forged at the general headquarter level of the two parties, seats sharing will be made based on local arrangement and consent of the two parties at unit or village level, said the HPC president. On November 5 last year, the ruling MNF and HPC combined had swept the first HSC polls by winning the 10th seat in the 12-member council. The upcoming village council and local council polls is expected to see a triangular fight between the ruling MNF, Congress and main opposition Zoram People's Movement. The last date for filing nomination paper was fixed on August 11th, last date for withdrawal of the candidature on 13 August and counting on August 27th, soon after the polling is over. There are 2,464 village council seats in 9 districts: Aizawl, Lunglai, Serchip, Champai, Mamit, Kolasip, Saitwal, Kauzol and Nathyal, and 545 local council seats in Aizawl municipal area. According to State Election Commission, a total of 4,54,180 electorates, including 2,29,937 female voters, would exercise their franchise in village council polls, while 2,18,758 voters, including 1,17,037 female voters, would elect their 545 representatives in local council polls where ballot papers would be used. Although the existing village council terms was due to expire on May 7th, it has been extended twice till September 7th due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Meanwhile, ZPM accused the state government of dictating the State Election Commission. The party president, Lalian Sauta, alleged that the election was announced in a hasty manner despite COVID-19 spread. Bureau Report. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated via video conferencing the submarine's optical fiber cable connecting Chennai and Port Blair. PM Modi at the launch of the OFC connecting Chennai and Port Blair said high-impact projects are being expanded in 12 islands of Andaman and Nicobar. The major problem of mobile and internet connectivity have been resolved. Apart from this, physical connectivity through road, air and water is also being strengthened, he added. The death toll in the recent massive landslide in Idukki district in Kerala rose to 43, with 17 more bodies being retrieved from the debris. Despite adverse weather conditions in the Pettimudi, rescue operations by the NDRF, fire and police department personnel are continuing to recover bodies of more people feared trapped in the landslide, officials said. The Indian Meteorological Department has also issued a red alert of extremely heavy rainfall in 6 districts of Kerala. A Bharatiya Janata Party workers from Jammu and Kashmir's Budgam died on Monday after he was attacked by unidentified gunmen on Sunday, sources said. Abdul Hamid Nazar, the district president of the Budgam BJP's other backward class Morcha, was on his morning walk when the gunmen fired at him near the Ompara. This was the third attack on a BJP worker in the last 5 days. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi alleged that the objective of the Environment Impact Assessment 2020 drafts is loot of the nation and demanded that it must be withdrawn to stop environmental destruction. The former Congress chief termed the EIA 2020 draft, which have been placed by the BJP government for public feedback, as disgraceful and dangerous. Reacting to the DMK MP Kanimozi's allegation of language bias at Chennai airport, Congress leader P. Chidambaram said that he had experienced similar taunts from the government officers and citizens who insisted that he speak in Hindi. In a series of tweets over the issue, Chidambaram said if the centre is genuinely committed to both Hindi and English being the official language of India, then it must insist that all central government employees are bilingual in Hindi and English. At least 10 people were killed in a massive fire that broke out at a hotel which was converted as COVID-19 care facility in the Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. About 31 patients of the coronavirus disease were in the facility along with 6 medical personnel and 6 hospital staff in the facility at the time the fire broke out. Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy expressed shock and grief over the mishap and ordered inquiry into the incident. He also announced an ex gratia of rupees 50 lakh to the king of the disease. The Congress must expedite the process of finding a full-term president to arrest the growing public perception that the party is adrift and rudderless. Senior Congress leader Tharoor also said that he certainly thinks that Rahul Gandhi has the mettle, capability and the aptitude to once again lead the party. But if he does not wish to do so, then the party must take action to elect a new chief. Congress MLAs belonging to the Ashok Gehlot camp have demanded actions against the Sachin Pilot camp. The demand for the actions against the dissidents MLAs led by Rajasthan's former Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot was put forth during the Congress Legislative Party meeting at a hotel in Jaisalmer on Sunday. The Rajasthan Assembly session is scheduled to begin on August 14. Activists of different organizations along with the police destroyed cannabis plant in the Narmant area of the Kullu on Sunday and took an oath to protect the environment. They also planted the saplings in order to make the environment greener. Locals also appreciated the move and thanked police and activists for carrying out such drive. With 62,064 new cases reported in the last 24 hours, the total case lot in India has now risen to 22,15,075. Of this, 6,34,945 are active cases, while 15,35,744 patients have already been discharged, data from the Union Health Ministry showed. As many as 1,007 deaths were reported, taking the casualties to 44,386. For the last 4 days, COVID-19 cases in India have risen by over 60,000. During the period, India has been reporting more novel coronavirus infections than any other country in the world. The United States and Brazil, 2 countries that have greater number of people infected by the virus, till now have been finding fewer number of new cases every day during this period. While India's case numbers have been increasing steadily with more than 60,000 new cases for the last 3 days. With nearly 30,000 new coronavirus cases and over 330 deaths linked to the virus recorded in the past 7 days, The week ending Sunday saw the highest jump in COVID-19 infection and fatalities in Uttar Pradesh. In the last 5 days of the week, over 4,000 cases were recorded. Sunday added 4,687 new cases and 45 deaths, taking the cumulative count to 1,22,609, the sixth highest in the country after Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Delhi. Uttar Pradesh now accounts for 5.5% of the total cases in the country, while the weekly average growth rate dropped by nearly 1% point to 4.6%. A welcome trend. That number of active cases grew by over 10,000 cases. The number in the United States and Brazil have not gone past over 50,000 per day in the last 3 days. Globally, over 19.5 million cases of coronavirus and 7.25 lakh deaths have been reported. Australia had its deadliest day in the coronavirus pandemic with 19 fatalities in the state of Victoria. Texas reported its positive test rate rose to a record as the US passed 5 million COVID-19 infections, having added 1 million cases in barely more than 2 weeks. Bureau Report.
Were arrested at Tarun in Chinnamara area of Johar district in connection with possession of suspected narcotic substances. All of the 6 youths were produced before the court in Johar, which sent 5 of them to police custody. One of the 6 arrested youths was found to be COVID-19 positive and was sent to Johar Medical College Hospital. Former NAGRIMS Director Professor D.M. Thapa in a statement issued revealed that a probe by Central Bureau of Investigation into the alleged implant scam in hospital was told by doctor from Varanasi. Dr. Thapa said CBI, which was investigating implant scam and assets created by Dr. Animesh Mishra, HOD of Cardiology, based on reports emanating from NAGRIMS Shillong, Meghalaya High Court case for disruption of cath lab surgeries in first week of May 2019. 29% of school students in Tripura don't have access to any sort of smartphone, cable TV network or such connectivity through which they could be covered under online classes during COVID-19, revealed recent survey. Earlier in June this year, the state government started experimental schooling light online classes, recorded video streamed via local cable television channels, social media under Ektu Khelo Ektu Para project, but the students of interior places of the state face problems due to lack of access to such devices. Mizoram's main opposition party, Zoram People's Movement, accused the ruling Mizo National Front government headed by Chief Minister Zoramthanga of detecting the State Election Commission for allegedly announcing election to the village councils and local council despite COVID-19 spread. Speaking to reporters, ZMP President Lailan Swatha said that even though State Election Commission is an autonomous body, it is in fact controlled and detected by the government. Prominent Nagaland women pressure group Naga Mothers Association submitted a memorandum to Prime Minister Narendra Modi seeking his immediate attention and intervention on various matters concerning the state. The NMS letters, among several issued, highlighted their discontentment at the recent development with regard to the Nagaland governor and peace interlocutor R.N. Ravi's recent letter to State Chief Minister Nefario. Manitombi Sin, former India and Mohun Bagan footballer, died at his native village near Imphal in Manipur. He was suffering from a prolonged illness and breathed his last in the early hours of Sunday. Manitombi Sin is survived by his wife and 8-year-old son. The All Arunachal Pradesh Students' Union has expressed its strong objection to the Draft Environment Impact Assessment Notification 2020. The union, in a letter to the Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, said it found many provisions of the draft to be pro-industry, averse to affected people's participation, consultation in the projects, and public accountability on part of the project proponent. Former Secretary of Sikkim government and a journalist Chandra Das Rai passed away at 96 at his residence in Gangtok. C.D. Rai had served full tenures as a bureaucrat and a politician and was also instrumental in the establishment of APN and Satya, a pioneering literary institution of Sikkim during the 60s.
Bulk orders ahead of the Independence Day said that this year they received no orders and retail sales have also taken a hit. Swapna Saha, a flag maker and seller, said for the last 30 years he have been making flags and there were 4 to 5 persons who were engaged with him in the work. But this time, due to Corona and lockdown, he works alone and could make around 500 flags. Earlier he worked at his shop, but now due to the lockdown he made the flag in his house. He added that previous year they used to make around 5,000 flags, but this time he could make only 500. Similar is the view of another flag maker and seller, Swapna Kumar Ray, who claims that he is among the highest flag maker and retail seller and have a small unit at his home where, along with few tailors, his family members were also engaged in flag making, but this time his factory is closed as there is no demand for flags. Meantime, Gobinda Deb, a stationery shop owner who also used to sell flags and various tricolor goods during this time of the year before Independence Day, said that due to pandemic the sale is less compared to earlier years. Independence Day is annually celebrated on 15 August in India, commemorating the nation's independence from the United Kingdom on 15 August 1947. Tricolor sells like hotcakes ahead of Independence Day. From around a week before the Independence Day, traffic signals across the country start bustling with hawkers who ditch their regular merchandise for selling tricolors. The Indian national flag was designed by Pingali Venkaya, a freedom fighter from Andhra Pradesh. The flag consists of 3 equal-size horizontal color stripes, also known as the tricolor. Saffron represents courage and sacrifice. White represents peace, unity and truth. Green stands for faith and fertility. The blue at the center symbolizes the sky and the ocean. Bureau Report.